I am Fundiswa Ndlela from the Eastern Cape, and I work for OXFAM. I'm the project manager for the Alfredo District Development Initiative, and today we are having a movement building session, and starting today, which is the 1st of October, ending on Thursday afternoon, the 3rd. The purpose of why we are here today, we've been journeying in the project with a team called the task team. We emerged as the task team after we had the South Africa You Want dialogue, but this was a version of the Alfredo We Want dialogue, and we had our own the Alfredo We Want dialogue last year, September, and in the last days of the dialogue, we had a movement building conversation that formed part of the commissions, which was headed by our executive director, Sipho Mtati. And I think the group that was participating in the commission of movement building reported back very robustly that we need to be organized as the community of Alfredo, and being organized, we need to align our strategies, and if we are to look at different ways of working together, we need to organize ourselves.
I'm a GBV activist, I'm an LGBTI activist. This movement is only important in two aspects in my life: the GBV and equal governance and transparency. And when you go there, you do not go unprepared. You have documentation, you have to do research, you have to go there with facts and referrals. Therefore, that team needs to check that, so that when we are going to approach, we do not look like puppets. They know that we know what we are talking about. So now the strategies should dwell on those. How do we equip each other? Who has this? Who knows this? How do we put this and this together so that it gives this? My sole mandate as a person, I just want to champion the needs of the gender-based violence that is accumulating in South Africa as a whole, and limit the femicide that is going around, the women killing, women dying for being women being raped for being women, and create, especially the LGBTI, I want to create safe spaces, the entire Alfredo, going up to the province, internationally. We want an environment where we will walk without fear that we are going to be molested, raped, or killed for who we want to be or who we are.
Igama lam nguRomance akanonkonzo Hlaziya lisuka kwaBhaca. We had a session from the 1st up to today, which is i-3rd yale nyanga. Sine session esizobuilda i-movement engu-ANDDI. Into ebaluleke ngayo ke yonke le movement ukuba sakhane, but kunezinto esingaziqondi ngoba zibalulekile, which is i-gym. I-gym ibalulekile, include aerobics ke i-gym. Ibalulekile because it gives you i-focus and also i-time management where yonke into oyenzayo. So abantu mabayithathe serious indaba ye-gym. It's not only about the physical fitness, but even the mental fitness is very important, because it gives you i-focus usenza izinto, and you cannot start something ongazokwazi ukuyigqiba. As a movement, we needed that. Yes, that's why siye sayenza i-aerobics was good and iclearisha ingqondo yakho ngexesha elifanelekileyo.
We always have the idea that we have to be spoon-fed for fundraising, or there's someone who has to give us funds to fundraise. In my organization, I had a program that I wanted to do a community dialogue. What I did, I went to all the stakeholders in the area, and I spoke to the heads, and I said, everyone in your department, could they please give us 2 rand? Everyone contributed their 2 rand. I went to Home Affairs 2 rand, I went to the streets 2 rand, I went to Texas 2 rand, because people don't notice the value of the 2 rand, but the 2 rand can go a long way when it's go to the market. That's one idea that I wanted us to take away. But then we can't take away that idea if we do not know to collectively what are we doing and what do we want to achieve.
The boys and the girls at the same time, in the form of educating them to understand the wrong that they are doing, or to correct the wrong that is happening now at an early age. Both these girls and boys, because now the way esenza ngayo ingathi ngokuna sibalahlele izandla amakhwenkwe, kanti we need to educate even boys to understand ukuthi they must value the body of a woman. They must grow up attaching value to the body of a woman as much as women are attaching value to the body of men.
My name's Narelle. I'm working for OXFAM Australia, and I'm just here on a short visit to get to learn more about the ANDDI project and meet partners, meet staff. So yeah, I've been participating in the ANDDI Movement workshop for the last 2.5 days, and yeah, as I said earlier, I found it really impressive, the energy and passion of all the participants, and you know, how committed they are to investing time into building more accountable governance in their local communities, particularly around the gender-based violence issue. I didn't realise how chronic it was in this part of the world. So yeah, they're doing some really important work, and it's great to see that there's been structure placed around the different strands of work they've all been involved in. So I can only see really positive things happening out of the movement.
Going back and reflecting on the Alfred Nzo We Want dialogue, that in fact we are not a task team. We want to be a movement, and in fact we should have come out of the Alfred Nzo dialogue we want as a movement and not as a task team, because a task team has time frames, a task team has terms of reference. You know, there are many legislative documents that make up a task team, and that's not rather where, you know, the community, including the members, wanted to go, but rather as a movement.
Ndingulizwe Ntshangulana, ndingu-chairperson ka-ANDDI. I-movement esanduzalwa apha e-Alfred Nzo izalwa ngenxa ye-initiative ka-OXFAM. Siyi-movement esebenzana nokokuba si-alleviate i-poverty e-Alfred Nzo, ngoba i-identifyekile njengendawo ene-poverty e-West South Africa. So ke kwezi ntsuku ezintathu besilapha, i-movement sitsho sayazi ukuthi intoni, sazazi responsibilities zethu okokuba zintoni. So na ukusuka kwethu apha siyomobilize at grassroots level nezi-stakeholders esawusebenza nazo, simobilize kwenzela ukuthi wonke umuntu asebenzele igoli eyi-1 yoku-alleviate i-poverty e-Alfred Nzo.
OXFAM is not going to be here till Jesus comes. There shall be a time when OXFAM may not be present as it is today here. So I think that's encouraging when we start thinking about how do we self-organize, self-sustain in terms of our action, but also the impact that we want to dent in terms of in a positive way, making sure that people live in dignity, there is inclusive economy, and there is transparent and accountable governance, and of course we revitalize the way of life in Alfred Nzo.
The broader vision of this movement was, when OXFAM leaves the Alfred Nzo, you know, who are going to be the owners of this developmental model, and how can we see a replica of this model emerging in other parts of our society, in other parts of the Eastern Cape, but in other parts of South Africa. And if we are going to have continuity and sustainability post-OXFAM, post-OZA, and post, you know, the time frame of the ANDDI project, then we want to have the community insisted that they wanted to have people, you know, who are going to be who are going to hold, you know, what OZA started together.
And then it's getting louder and louder and louder.